Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Hubar begins now.
Good evening. Stallholders at Tasmania's top tourist attraction are being urged to speak out against a potential rate hike, with consultation to open to the public. Feedback for rising Salamanca Market costs is welcomed from Monday, with those opposed hoping to stop the proposal in its tracks.
Come Saturday morning, this Hobart Strip is buzzing with atmosphere, the sounds of market goers ringing out on the waterfront. But there's fears this energy could be burnt out as stallholders face the prospect of a rent hike in a plan put forward by Hobart City Council.
Thanks for shopping locally. Thank you. My profit margin's reduced since last year, and the rise in the rent will probably be the difference between me being able to hire a helper or not.
Confronting a turbulent economic environment, some are already losing out as a result of visitors spending less.
When I compare last year to this year, I'm about $200 a week worse off than I was, which is it's a lot of money.
In just 2 days, feedback submissions on the potential increase will open for an entire month.
It's just so important that all stallholders, every one of the 300 stallholders down here at Salamanca has their say. You know, if we speak united as one, then we can really implement change.
Council's operating costs and expenditure will also be made available throughout the process.
Every stallholder will receive a letter with their individual information about their site and their stall and provide some really useful information for them. We're really keen to hear back.
Prominent business leaders recently threw their support behind scrapping the plan, expressing concerns it would only cause damage to the state's top tourist attraction.
This is the first agreement we've had since 2017. We went through some really tough times together during COVID. We do need to strike a new agreement, but I'm sure we can find a balance for everybody's needs.
That fate to be decided by elected members on May 22. Grace Evans, 7 Tasmania News.
A local memorial site has been vandalised just 1 month out from Anzac Day. At least 2 cars ripped up turf at Anzac Park around 3 o'clock yesterday morning. Gilston Bay Oval was also tarnished with deep tyre ruts.
It's evident that big, strong four-wheel drives pushed their way through some treated pine balustrading and then made their way into both areas.
Residents reported the disturbance to police, but the trespassers had already fled by the time they arrived. The Clarence City Council and Lindisfarne RSL now working to restore between $5,000 and $10,000 worth of damage, excluding new fencing costs. One of Tasmania's prominent union leaders has announced he is stepping away from the top job after more than 25 years in the health advocacy space. Tim Jacobson informed HACSU members of the decision yesterday and will remain on deck until August. Mr Jacobson has been pivotal in helping secure the best possible working conditions for healthcare staff across the state. His colleague Robbie Moore is now set to take on the secretary position. Rotary clubs from right across Tasmania have converged on the state's capital to celebrate all the organisation has to offer. A dedicated expo has been held for the first time, aiming to spread the word and help entice newcomers, with crowds flowing into the Princess Wharf shed.
A lot of people think we sell sausages. What do we do with the money? This shows you what we actually are involved with.
Young people are the future of Rotary, so it's really important, and we've got so many youth programs that can really engage, personal development programs that will really enhance their life and their careers.
This marks the first Rotary event of its kind nationwide, with organisers deeming the day a success. An iconic food service helping Tasmanians experiencing hardship has undergone a major facelift. The state government helping with the purchase of 3 new vans to support vulnerable community members who may otherwise go hungry.
Joining St Vincent de Paul back in 2018, Bev Thompson had no idea just how many Tasmanians were struggling to stay afloat.
Every time I go out, there's something or someone that's just, you can't stop thinking about that person.
Bev using her spare time to operate one of the 3 Louis food vans, delivering an assortment of sandwiches, soups and beverages to vulnerable Tasmanians.
We're hitting up to some nights 50, 55 people a night.
The vans operate across every region of Tasmania, so south, north and northwest.
The service undergoing a $165,000 upgrade after the state government delivered on its 2021 election promise to replace each vehicle.
These vans go out at least 5 nights a week. So it obviously doesn't take long for wear and tear and for kilometres on these vans.
The government also preparing to unveil its food security action plan,
which is about not just supporting emergency food relief but also transitioning people from emergency food relief to food resilience. And that's by instituting programs that look at nutritional education, about helping communities to develop programs of their own.
It comes as new census data reveals more Tasmanians are sleeping rough than ever before. Vinnie's now putting the call out for more helping hands to tackle the surge. Brianna Boylan, 7 Tasmania News.
The sounds of disco have arrived in Hobart's Theatre Royal, with one of Australia's most successful singers taking to the stage. Legendary diva Marsha Hines is bringing the songs of the 70s to life and says the genre remains influential in music to this day.
The 70s are alive once again in Hobart. Velvet Rewired explores disco and the fashions behind the music. Led by legendary crooner and former Australian Idol judge Marsha Hines, the show is a personal one for her.
My girlfriends would drag me to a discotheque and we'd spend like Friday and Saturday night dancing and Sunday night we'd nurse our feet.
However, it isn't just your average concert, also featuring dancers and even acrobats.
Well, you just stay out of the way. You must stay out of the way, and you have to just be very aware of your surroundings when you're on stage.
I get to sing out disco songs that I've grown up with and I've loved ever since a young girl.
Performers enjoying the opportunity to work with Marsha and relive a special era.
It's the groove, it's the feeling. You can see the audience wanting to jump out of their seats.
My grandparents, my grandmother listened to disco every time I went over there.
Also relishing playing in Australia's oldest continuing working theatre.
It feels like coming home. It's a lovely theatre.
It's so small and intimate, you feel like the audience is right there.
Disco has a storied history. It dominated the mid-70s, but an infamous backlash from punk and new wave turned it into an anachronism by the mid-1980s. Hines says it stood the test of time and still influences artists.
If you listen to the soundtracks of music these days, of movies, most of the movies have got a disco soundtrack, so young people are very aware.
Velvet is playing at the Theatre Royal until April 9. John Hunt, 7 Tasmanian News.
Around 1,000 visitors have been able to live La Dolce Vita in Launceston with the launch of a new festival. Prospect's Italia 23 event, catering to those hoping to soak up cuisine, cars and culture.
When it comes to Launceston and Italian culture, that's amore. More than 1,000 locals turning out for the inaugural Italia Festival.
That's great food, great wine and, cool things, yeah.
Keen to showcase the best of the country, from Fiat to Ferrari and everything in between, Italian icons were on show.
They never get old, that type of car. Even today, they're like a brand new model.
Many of Launceston Italian club's old hands turning out to celebrate.
It's that happy, vibrant nature that the Italian people have. They love to party, they love to fiesta.
The family-friendly event encouraging the young and young at heart to dress in their Italian best or try their hand at bocce, with food served up by some familiar faces.
You can't beat, having Italian food, especially when Lorenzo and Franco, well-known Italian restaurant owners, are doing the cooking.
I've got the carbonara, so cooked perfectly.
It's hoped the event will become a regular fixture.
It's just a nice, happy family day. That's what it's all about.
Annie Green, 7 Tasmania News.
And Launceston's Brisbane Street Mall has been turned into a surprise runway, adding a little bit of sparkle to the city's Super Sale Saturday. Disney royalty was also on hand to help encourage shoppers to join in.
It's been a wonderful day. I've met so many wonderful people and so many wonderful animals and lots of sales. I love a sale.
More than 90 local retailers took part in the event. Top talent scouts are on hand this weekend, searching for the next new boccia star at the Tasmanian state titles. Launceston is playing host to athletes from across the state, as well as attracting players from further afield.
A tough sport requiring intense concentration and a clever game plan.
It's a lot of skill, you know, when you're seeing people putting their ball on top of the white ball and blocking and stuff. Yeah.
Hometown talent Nick Milner is one of the 14 athletes gathering for the Tasmanian state titles. He's taken out bronze in the BC2 category after a tough matchup.
I've never played him before, but it was a good, close game, close ends, really enjoyed it.
Designed for players who use wheelchairs, it's a sport of strategy and skill. The aim of the game, to have your ball land as close to the white jack as possible.
It's been excellent, you know, some really close games and lots of great skill on show.
Talent scouts from Boccia Australia are on hand looking to identify our next star.
They're looking at people for LA 28 and also Brisbane 2032 Paralympic Games. So hopefully we might have a Paralympian playing here today.
Nick thinks he's got what it takes to make it to the top.
Yes, that's what my goal is, to practice hard, do my best and see where I go.
Competition continues tomorrow. Annie Green, 7 Tasmania News.
To local cricket, and Lindisfarne have a commanding 246-run lead in Day 2 of the Cricket Tasmania Premier League final. It was an uphill battle for University. Tim Payne out for LBW by Jack Freeman after 21 runs. Andrew Keeley scoring 18 runs for the side. University ended their first innings at 10 for 210. Meanwhile, at the Cricket Northwest final, Wynyard are facing a spirited battle against Ulverston. Greg Sharman scoring a century for his side. Unfortunately for captain Mason Hodgetts, he was out for a duck. At stumps, Wynyard are 9 for 228. While at NTCA Oval, it was an easy second innings for Westbury as they take out the Cricket North final. The Shamrocks only chasing 26 runs on their way to victory. Launceston's Charlie Eastoe scoring 16 runs before being bowled out by Joel Lloyd. Tasmanian drivers have come out in force on the first day of this year's Rally Launceston. Local driver Bodie Redding with co-driver Mark Young finishing second in the outright top 5 and winning the Heat 1 Production Cup. Racing continues tomorrow. And Southwest Tasmania has played host to the first UCI Mountain Bike Enduro World Cup. On day 1, Australian rider Thomas Booth in the lead after 5 stages in the Open EDR men's category, while in the women's, Rachel Hall is at the top of the table.
Good evening. Launceston was the state's top at 22 today. 20 in Devonport, Hobart and Burnie both 19. 20 the top for Flinders Island, Smithton, Friendly Beaches and Bushy Park. Grove and Lowhead both 19. 17 for King Island and Strawn. Lyowini dropped down to -2 before reaching 15. Cloudy across the west today with some patchy cloud in the northeast. Elsewhere, mostly clear skies. Further out, cloud over southern Victoria and extensive cloud over WA stretches towards South Australia. A weak ridge of high pressure will linger over the state tomorrow. Troughs remain over the mainland. Westerly winds reaching up to 20 knots about the south, a variable 5 to 15 elsewhere. Swells reaching up to 4.5 metres in the south. A mostly sunny 20 for Hobart tomorrow. Richmond and Ooze both partly cloudy and 22. Launceston also partly cloudy and 22. 20 the top for Devonport and Deloraine. 18 and cloudy for Burnie. Strawn and Curry both 17 with some cloudy conditions also. Partly cloudy and 21 for St Helens, 21 the top also for Swansea, mostly sunny there, and a partly cloudy 20 for Whitemark. Tomorrow's UV will sit at a high 5 and the sun is starting to set earlier as we approach the end of daylight savings, 7:15 p.m. the expected time there. Showers developing on a Monday, more likely about the north and east. More showers across the state on Tuesday. And those showers will continue on Wednesday with northeast to southeasterly winds before changing to a more northwesterly later in the day. A bit of rain around the mainland tomorrow, a shower or two for Brisbane, Sydney and Canberra, Adelaide 24 and rain at times, a cloudy 20 for Melbourne, 34 for Darwin. Right now in Hobart at 16, Launceston sunny and 18, Devonport 16 as well. And Lou, I don't know about you, but there's a few more nights to enjoy some daylight savings before it ends next weekend.
And that's all your news for this Saturday evening. Thank you for joining us. I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a lovely evening. Good night.